Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now Deontay Wilder has seemingly responded to Dillian Whyte's shock knockout loss to Alexander Povetkin. Now, in a tweet, Deontay Wilder simply put, "I believe in glass de glace," which is a Russian saying that loosely translates to an eye for an eye. Now, you could say it's not about Dillian Whyte, but ultimately it was literally moments after Dillian Whyte lost. It's also in Russian, obviously linking him to Alexander Povetkin. So obviously it was about Dillian Whyte, and obviously Dillian Whyte did not mince his words and in fact have any sympathy for Deontay Wilder when he lost to Tyson Fury, but ultimately it was a different set of circumstances. Dillian Whyte got knocked out by one punch, Deontay Wilder got knocked out by a lot of them. I mean, Deontay Wilder got beaten up, Dillian Whyte got just knocked out by one simple punch he did not see coming, where maybe Dillian Whyte didn't defend to it as well as he should have done, but that's something to learn in the rematch. Now, in the rematch, Dillian Whyte has a better chance of beating Alexander Povetkin than Deontay Wilder has a chance of beating Tyson Fury, because Dillian Whyte was in control, got caught with a punch, and ultimately that cost him on the night. Deontay Wilder was never in control against Tyson Fury, so how is Deontay Wilder going to beat Tyson Fury if he does not land his one big punch? Deontay Wilder has to do what Alexander Povetkin done against Dillian Whyte. Land a lucky punch, or not lucky. I mean, it was very well set up by Alexander Povetkin, not to take anything away from him, but Deontay Wilder does not have that same skill set as Alexander Povetkin to get into the position to land a punch like that. So for Deontay Wilder, yes, he has to land a lucky punch. Can he do that against Tyson Fury? You would have to believe that Dillian Whyte has a better chance of overturning his defeat to Alexander Povetkin than Deontay Wilder does over Tyson Fury, because as I said, the manner of the loss was very different. Now, you can kind of expect Deontay Wilder to come out with this kind of response, because, I mean, fair play, Deontay Wilder did have some stick from Dillian Whyte, and certainly no sympathy. So, I guess it's just something that Dillian Whyte is going to have to take along with the loss, and I don't think he's going to really listen to too much about what Deontay Wilder has to say. But ultimately, one thing you have to look at as well is look at Deontay Wilder's resume. Pretty much a padded resume if you don't count Tyson Fury. Luis Ortiz, maybe. But we don't know how good Luis Ortiz was. We know how good Alexander Povetkin is. Then go through the rest of Dillian Whyte's resume. But again, I guess you can understand Deontay Wilder coming out with this. It's not like he's really ridiculed Dillian Whyte. He's just kind of said an eye for an eye. So he hasn't like come out and laughed at Dillian Whyte or anything, but that is what Dillian Whyte done to Deontay Wilder. But you have to remember what Deontay Wilder done to Dillian Whyte, building up to his loss to Tyson Fury. Dillian Whyte was what? 800 days as a WBC number one. Why did Deontay Wilder not fight him? It was someone who was there, a big fight. He got offered, what, over 5 million to fight Dillian Whyte, when Deontay Wilder was making, what, 2 million per fight? So he had an opportunity to make a big payday, fight a British fighter in Dillian Whyte, maybe come over to the UK and do it, so build his fan base, get known to a wider audience, make more money, as I said, and also make a big statement by fighting his number one challenger, who is rightfully a number one challenger. You often have mandatories and you're like, how did he get that opportunity? Like Dominic Brazil, how did he deserve that WBC world title opportunity? He didn't. So Dillian Whyte was someone who was number one and deserved to be there. So why did Deontay Wilder not fight him? If he was, as he says he is, looking for the big fights, fighting the top fighters, if he was doing that, he would have fought Dillian Whyte. So that is the reason why Dillian Whyte responded in that way to Deontay Wilder's loss, because ultimately he thought that the same thing as Deontay Wilder is thinking now. An eye for an eye. You made me wait 800 days and now you've lost. So he's going to kind of rub it in a little bit. And of course, it's not great to be laughing at someone who's just lost. And obviously, it's not nice to kick someone while they're down. But the thing is, Dillian Whyte was in a position where he had been waiting for like 2 years for his world title opportunity. And it was because of Deontay Wilder. That was the reason why he did not get his shot. And as I said, it was a one-punch knockout from Alexander Povetkin. A brilliant shot that, I mean, would have knocked a horse out. It was an incredible shot. But obviously, Dillian Whyte has to know how to defend against something like that. And that is something he will learn from and come back better with in the rematch. Can Deontay Wilder learn what he needs to learn in the time he has before he faces Tyson Fury again? You'd have to question that. Now, Dave Coldwell, who was in the corner with Dillian Whyte on that night, obviously he came in late to be of help to Xavier Miller and Dillian Whyte, just to see maybe things they aren't seeing, see a few different things, and just bring a wealth of experience that he has, and to the corner that maybe needed that after the loss of Mark Tibbs. From the team, this is what Dave Coldwell had to say on social media after the loss to Alexander Povetkin. All I see on my socials is how fighters should fight the best out there, take the tough fights against dangerous opponents and prove they are the best, prove they are worthy. Those same people who say all of that are usually the same that laugh when a boxer loses a fight at a high level, taking the mick from the comfort of their own mobile phone or laptop, knowing full well if they were in their fighter's position, they'd take the easiest route possible to the top. In fact, no, 99% of trolls wouldn't have the steel to face flyweights power in the ring, live on TV, never mind a big punching heavyweight. Look at the recent record of Dillian Whyte, opposition he chose to fight knowing he's in line for a crack at a world title. Who has the bigger bollocks, him or the trolls? Who deserves more respect, win or lose, him or the warriors of social media? Opinions are always welcome. As always, trolls, you can go and get effed, basically. And I have to say, I couldn't put it any better myself. So that is the response from Dave Coldwell to all of the trolls who are loving this and enjoying the fact that Dillian Whyte has taken a loss. It's one loss in the bigger picture. So he can come back and he will come back. And obviously with Deontay Wilder, he's going to say stuff like that, but it wasn't really that bad. I mean, it wasn't like he came out laughing and posting pictures like, say, Andy Ruiz Jr. has done in the past. Andy Ruiz Jr. definitely enjoyed Dillian Whyte's loss over the weekend. But Deontay Wilder was someone who just put an eye for an eye or glass de glace, which is obviously Russian for that. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.